It's Mike here with the Wirrway versus Heclapar play-by-mail campaign, where it is the 16th of March, 1942. The Imperial Guards land at Ceylon, unopposed, no mines. So the risk I took uh, through clumsy prior planning seemed to play out. Weather's bad, at least the Night Hex. We'll see if he tries to use his Air Force to intervene. By daylight, the Imperial Guards should be fully offloaded. It's got some motor launches trying to play ASW. If you hear birds in the background, I'm actually sitting on the deck looking out over the Coral Sea at the moment on the east coast of Australia, and the birds are very active this morning. Bruant is in Jaffa Harbor, and so is K-11. I-28 comes across Perry and some transports. Good. So let's see if his B-17s fly today in the Coral Sea. Stuff with Clark. Doing some minor airfield fort building suppression at Bandoin. Don't need to do a lot anymore. Still suppressing Manila, destroying supplies. So at least two B-17s flew. Probably end up getting two B-17s. Oh, one got through. Interesting. We'll see if it makes it back to base. Yeah, they came in at 2,000 and got jumped by the zeros. So all the zeros were overhead at the time the raid arrived. So, yeah, let's see if any more come. You've been flying about 7 or 8. No more B-17s in the morning phase. The others may have aborted, or the weather just was bad, aborted for any reason, including the weather. It's too bad, but a couple B-17s is better than nothing. Yep, no more B-17s. Well, so this is supply. That's verse 38. Spring is a dedicated supply convoy. Nothing new at Changsha at the moment. Still building up forces. We're essentially evenly matched in terms of raw AV. Attacking next turn here. Supply was short. We're getting reported very good results from the bombardment, but remember those are exaggerated. Nothing here. Here we go at Diamond Harbor. Speed through this. Okay, well, little disappointing. More of his B-17s didn't fly, but we got it. We got a couple B-17Es, it looks like. It's good. Yeah, 3 Allied losses matches 3 Allied losses, so very good. And we Diamond Harbor has fallen. Interesting that the headquarters unit, others retreated across the river. I guess they've got a supply source, so that's why they did it. We've landed successfully on Ceylon. No mines, no losses, other than looks like we lost 4 infantry squads in the landing and 1 heavy machine gun squad. All good. And supply is being offloaded. So that was successful, if a little disjointed. You can see I had battleship and escort um, and a surface combat task force. I had Zero's long range capping, but he didn't make any even moderately serious attempts to intervene. Let's check our divisions, who just shock attacked for the second time in a matter of days. Both are in very good shape, so they are going to rest and prepare as we begin our move on Hyderabad as soon as our fighters aren't needed to cover Jaffna in a couple days. So the plan is move on Warringal, take Warringal, and then move our main forces, rail our main forces into Warringal, and under air cover, uh, advance on Hyderabad, take Hyderabad, and then we're going to move on Bombay. Lasho, I'll recon it again for you, but he has most of the original Burma army is sitting at Lasho, um, a little bit at me at Kima. Yima looks more like the correct pronunciation. We're just going to leave those guys for a while. Instead, we're going to continue the encirclement of all of Burma and China by paratroop drop here, here, rail, 1 armor unit in, take Lido. I don't want to touch Imphal at the moment because of its garrison level. I'm generally avoiding anything I've got a garrison at the moment because it just ties down too many of my troops until Bandawing falls and I can free up the units there, and the Philippines are just about wrapped up. Otherwise, it's stretched too thin. Supply levels should be adequate to attack here. Yep. And so we'll attack on the Ankang Road and check on our armor. So we're just about ready for our Changsha offensive. Little Tayo. Check and see how our. So I resize my air groups within our house rules up to doctrinal sizes, which for IHA-N fighter units is up to 45. I find that a good size because then I can split them into their 3 parts, A, B, and C. And on the escort carriers and the light carriers, I can put 2 elements of fighters on them, fly 1 at low altitude and 1 at high altitude. I find this a more flexible option. Some people, when their house rules allow, will use Akagi to supersize their air groups up to like 80, 81. One, I think that's it's not doctrinal. It's not the way the Japanese functioned. A single squadron at that size would have been completely unmanageable. But 2, I also find it, and a bit of an awkward size to actually employ um, on the light carriers and escort carriers. But Hosho looks like Kwato and Kiyoshima, I'm sorry, Bano were credited with the kills. You can see this is not a very experienced air group at this point. They've been training up, but they did what they needed to do, and now they'll withdraw. Now, Fiji, we have our wolf pack with our Glenarm subs to try to work shipping there. It's like he's building up Pago Pago. He's got some ships in port. Redeployment of engineers and units to the Gilberts is continuing. I wonder why these guys are taking a exposed routing. They're coming from Wake. I wasn't paying attention to their routing. I would have brought them inside Kwajalein if I'd been paying closer attention. Okay, well, that's it for the 16th of March turn, and we'll talk again soon.